Breaking, Trump's Social Security promise faces scrutiny as experts warn of looming crisis. In a fiery declaration, former President Donald Trump has once again promised not to touch Social Security and Medicare, a pledge that has long resonated with many of his supporters. But in a dramatic twist, experts are now sounding the alarm. His proposed policies could spell disaster for the very programs he vows to protect. A fresh analysis released Monday projects Trump's sweeping agenda, which includes cutting taxes on Social Security payments, would accelerate the depletion of Social Security's funds. The report warns that under Trump's plan, the program could run out of money in as little as 6 years, a far shorter timeline than previously expected. With millions of Americans depending on Social Security and Medicare, the implications of this forecast are nothing short of seismic. Trump and GOP pledge to protect Social Security and Medicare, but critics point to mixed messages. In a major policy announcement, Donald Trump and the Republican Party have publicly vowed not to cut Social Security or Medicare if Trump regains the White House. The GOP's platform explicitly promises to fight for and protect these essential programs, rejecting any cuts or increases to the retirement age. However, Democrats have swiftly countered, pointing to Trump's own comments from March, when the former president appeared to suggest the opposite. In a CNBC interview, Trump floated the idea of cutting entitlements like Social Security and Medicare, citing issues of waste and mismanagement. Trump's campaign has since sought to clarify, with spokesperson Caroline Leavitt insisting the ex-president was referring to cutting waste, not the programs themselves. Leavitt emphasized that Trump would strongly protect both Social Security and Medicare in a second term. Meanwhile, Trump's proposed elimination of the tax on Social Security benefits has ignited a fresh controversy. Critics argue the move could hasten the insolvency of these programs, already expected to run out of funds by 2034. According to the Nonpartisan Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, Trump's plan could accelerate that timeline, draining Social Security by 2032 and Medicare by 2030, further destabilizing America's social safety net. With Trump's broader agenda projected to add a staggering $2.3 trillion to Social Security's deficit, experts warn the programs could run out of money as early as 2031, sparking heated debate as the 2024 election approaches. Trump pushes to slash Social Security taxes, but experts warn of looming threat to benefits. Former President Donald Trump is doubling down on his plan to eliminate taxes on Social Security benefits for seniors, a move he promoted this week on Fox and Friends and during a press conference at Mar-a-Lago. Trump declared that under his leadership, there would be no tax for seniors on Social Security. But while the promise may sound appealing to retirees, policy experts are raising red flags. They warn that eliminating these taxes could have serious consequences, accelerating the insolvency of the Social Security and Medicare trust funds. The Social Security Administration reports that roughly 40% of Americans receiving Social Security benefits pay federal income tax, and eliminating that revenue could push the already strained system into financial peril. Experts argue that Trump's plan could drain funds faster, threatening the very benefits millions of seniors rely on. With Social Security projected to run out of reserves by 2034, this move could bring that crisis even sooner, leaving future retirees in an even more precarious position. As Trump rallies support with this tax cut proposal, critics are urging a closer look at the potential long-term damage to America's retirement safety net. The question now, will this tax cut cost seniors their future security? Breaking news. Leavitt slams experts, defends Trump's Social Security plan amid sharp criticism. In a fiery statement to Forbes on Monday, Leavitt blasted the so-called experts at the CRFB, accusing them of years of inaccuracies and asserting that former President Donald Trump will continue to strongly protect Social Security in his anticipated second term. Leavitt went on to claim that Vice President Kamala Harris is the only candidate who poses a threat to the solvency of the vital program. The statement comes as tax experts reveal troubling projections about Trump's proposed Social Security tax cuts. According to the Urban Institute and Brookings Institution's Tax Policy Center, middle-class Americans earning between $32,000 and $60,000 would see only minimal savings, about $90 in taxes, while the wealthiest 1%, raking in $5 million or more, would pocket a whopping $2,500. Meanwhile, low-income Americans, already exempt from Social Security taxes, wouldn't see a penny of change. Leavitt didn't hold back, arguing that Harris's immigration agenda could spell disaster for Social Security. He warned that if undocumented immigrants are allowed to stay, Social Security would buckle and collapse. Yet, experts at the CRFB tell a very different story. Contrary to Leavitt's claims, they argue that Trump's mass deportation plans would devastate the program by removing billions in contributions. Undocumented immigrants, despite being ineligible for benefits, are responsible for billions of dollars in contributions that sustain the program. According to the Social Security Administration's chief actuary, undocumented immigrants contributed a staggering $12 billion to Social Security in 2010 alone. CRFB estimates Trump's deportation and tariff plans could drain Social Security of up to $750 billion between 2026 and 2035, further threatening the program's solvency. As the debate rages on, the future of Social Security remains a critical issue heading into the 2024 election. Harris dodges specifics on Social Security while sounding alarm on Trump's agenda. Vice President Kamala Harris has yet to roll out a detailed plan for Social Security as part of her presidential campaign, but her long-standing support for the program remains a focal point of her message. As Vice President, she has championed Social Security, aligning with the Biden administration in backing it without proposing any cuts. In her time in the Senate, Harris co-sponsored legislation aimed at expanding benefits, adjusting cost of living calculations, and ensuring some dependents could receive benefits while attending school through age 22. The bill also proposed raising more funds by expanding payroll taxes on higher incomes. But in a striking twist, Harris has left questions lingering about whether she'll carry these same policies into her presidential bid. In a speech on Friday about her economic policy, Social Security was notably absent. Meanwhile, Harris is making waves by turning the spotlight on Donald Trump and the controversial Project 2025. Spearheaded by the Heritage Foundation, this 900-page conservative blueprint has alarmed Democrats. Harris has repeatedly raised concerns, claiming Trump's election would lead to devastating cuts to Social Security and Medicare. Just look at his Project 2025 agenda, she warned, accusing Trump of intending to slash the programs. While Project 2025 stops short of explicitly proposing cuts to Social Security and Medicare, it does advocate for significant reforms, including making Medicare Advantage the default option, a move critics fear could undermine traditional Medicare. Trump and his team have distanced themselves from the plan, publicly disavowing any connection, yet Harris continues to hammer the point, raising fresh questions as the 2024 race heats up. Harris's running mate Tim Walz cuts Social Security taxes, how it stacks up against Trump's big promise. In a move that could shake up the 2024 race, Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, has boosted the state tax exemption for Social Security benefits, providing relief to retirees struggling to make ends meet. This tax break, implemented in 2023, comes as part of a wave of bipartisan support for exempting Social Security from income taxes. But it's not just Walz making headlines. Donald Trump is also wading into the Social Security debate with a bold federal proposal of his own. Trump, never one to shy away from grand promises, vowed to eliminate federal income taxes on Social Security entirely. In a fiery interview on Fox and Friends, Trump declared, "People on Social Security are being killed. And one of the things I'm doing is no tax for seniors on Social Security, and I'll get it done quickly." The stark contrast between Walz's state-level reforms and Trump's sweeping federal promise has thrust Social Security tax policy into the heart of the 2024 campaign, with both parties scrambling to win over the nation's retirees. As voters watch closely, the battle for the Social Security vote has never been more intense. Trump taps J.D. Vance as running mate. Social Security debate heats up. In a bold move that could reshape the 2024 election landscape, Donald Trump has selected Senator J.D. Vance, R. Ohio, as his vice presidential running mate. Vance, known for his populist stances, previously told the New York Times that he supports bolstering Social Security funding by getting more men back into the workforce, raising wages, and increasing tariffs on imports. "I think that you buy yourself a whole hell of a lot more than the 9 or 10 years that the actuaries say that we have," Vance declared, setting the stage for a new battle over America's economic future. While Trump has not explicitly endorsed Vance's Social Security strategy, he has long floated the idea of raising tariffs on imported goods. Yet tax experts remain skeptical, warning that higher tariffs may not generate the revenue needed to close the looming Social Security funding gap. They argue that rising costs on imports could push Americans to cut back on purchases, leaving less revenue than expected. With the economy now a centerpiece in the run-up to November, Social Security has become a flashpoint. Trump has promised to repeal Social Security taxes and assured voters on the campaign trail that he will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. On Monday, Trump's campaign released a video doubling down on that message, sparking a fierce response from the left. Democrats have ramped up their attacks, with billboards in Asheville, North Carolina, accusing Trump of plans to slash funding, leave seniors behind, and cut taxes for the ultra-wealthy. The billboards coincided with the anniversary of the 1935 signing of the Social Security Act, adding symbolic weight to the accusations. As polls continue to show that the economy and Social Security are top concerns for voters, Trump's choice of Vance is sure to ignite further debate. Will Trump's bold new strategy resonate with a restless electorate, or will Democrats' pointed attacks find their mark? Stay tuned as the Social Security showdown takes center stage in the 2024 race.